And we're live.
What's up, man? How you going?
I'm good. How are you? Are you excited to be here?
Mate, I'm excited and also wondering why the fuck I am here. So a bit of context. My wife the other day was asked just straight to the point, why the fuck does anyone want you on a podcast? And I sat there for a second and went, that's a great point. I don't know why, but me being me, I say yes to everything. So
yeah,
thank you.
At least you're giving it a crack.
Let's zero views and no one's going to give a fuck, but I'm here.
I'm fine with 0 views.
Yeah, okay.
I'm fine with it. Do you know what? I've actually been pretty lucky. I didn't have a phase where I got really, really bad views. I guess I don't get I don't get huge views, but I never got 3 views.
Sure.
Or I never got that bad.
You've always hit double digits.
I've always hit double.
Thanks, Mum and Dad, for your multiple listens. I appreciate it.
And I've never ever watched back a full podcast.
Yeah,
I can't listen to my voice.
Yourself?
Yeah.
I've been on one podcast prior, but it was more. It was for Flinders Uni, so completely different environment than this. And I haven't listened to it because I just know even when I was there talking, I was like, I reckon I sound like a fucking idiot. I'm not going to like this at all.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just you'd have to be a fucking special kind of person to want to watch yourself.
Yeah, well, probably all the reality TV cunts.
Yeah, So for everyone who doesn't know, Shannon, you've had a fucking bit of a career change. Yeah. But at the moment, you are running a brand called Riot Media. Is that your main? Riot Media is your main?
Dude, it kind of is in partnership, or it sits separate, but yeah.
Because you have 2 or 3 different companies
couple of things
coexist.
going on. Yeah, so Riot Media primarily is what I like to put a lot of my time into. But then sitting next to that, and I'll probably put equal share of time into it, is Captured Co. So I guess the separation is Captured Co. is for all those fucking lovers out there that want a dope photographer or videographer for their weddings. And I guess I like to be able to fucking do that for them, I guess. And then Riot Media is to support local business owners or whoever it happens to be to produce digital assets, digital marketing, video production, photography and the likes. So yeah, it's kind of like the new-ish venture at the moment.
And you just went balls deep into that with no knowledge of filming and all that?
A little bit. So always loved photography, always into it. And I guess was doing that on the side whilst I worked a full-time job as well. And I guess got to the point where I ended up just jumping in the deep end and having to learn pretty quickly some of the other aspects of digital marketing. So, video was primarily one of those as well that I kind of pick up on the fly and went, it's not too different to photography. There's other components that I need to be aware of, but primarily it's pretty much the same gig, man. So I fucking love it. I enjoy it. It's so much fun.
And you are the most organized fucking person in the world.
My wife would disagree, but yeah, I like to.
If you're fucking not organised, then Jesus Christ, I'm the worst.
Yeah, for me, I want to be on top of my game, and particularly when you have your own business and that's what you're relying to make an income. But second to that is, I want to be able to do all my clients a service. I want to be able to pump them up. I want to be able to showcase the essence of who they are and the services and the products that they provide.
Yeah.
If I don't feel like I'm on top of my game, I'm doing that well. I just feel like I'm doing them injustice. So, I want to be on top of my shit.
Yeah, no shit. Because, we had a little meeting the other day for something, and you full had spreadsheets and fucking, you were ready to go.
Yeah, I said at the time, I'm like, sometimes my brain is on steroids. And I just fucking jump. I'm like, how can we do this? How can we make it bigger, better? How can I track it? How can we, whatever it happens to be. I remember even sometimes when I was speaking to people, I'm like, you're too much, bro. Just settle down. Just calm down.
I enjoy it. I love watching people that are organised. I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I'm such a fucking cowboy.
Yeah. I think there's a huge positive to that. You definitely need to be able to go with the flow.
Yeah, there's a massive positive, but there's also I'm never prepared for any situation.
Well, what was that saying? Failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
Yeah.
So I actually love that. So if I don't feel like I reached out to you. Is there anything I need to know for the podcast? In my head, I felt like I needed to write notes. I needed to research shit, but
I haven't had to do. Besides, so this will come out after. But the one I did with this bloke called Ravi Hammond, it'll be coming out this Friday.
Yeah.
That was the one I was talking to you before. I was an AI engineer and a programmer. He's fucking. When I was talking to him, I shit my pants because I was like, "Oh, can you send me just a list of your kind of credentials so I know what kind of things to research the night before, just so I can freshen up?" And I was like, "Oh, he's just gonna write me a little like sentence or two." He fucking sent me like 6 paragraphs. He's like, "Yeah, I just quickly type this up."
Yeah.
It was like 6 paragraphs, perfectly fucking dot pointed with all of the things he's well versed on, and I was like, "Fuck!"
This is a different breed of human.
Stressing out.
To be fair, he might have just thrown you off your game. He probably used AI to fucking do that for him.
Oh, dude, he's a menace. He has a boot camp, to pass big tech interviews.
Yeah.
So 30% of Google's interns in Australia came from his boot camp.
That's impressive.
And he said he's ruthless with it. Like if you don't, he does it for free as well.
Really?
Yeah. So he has a Discord server and he has a program of how to pass these big interviews. And he said his course is probably 10 to 15 times harder than the actual interview, but it's better to over prepare.
Is he doing the technical components of someone's role, or is he talking about the kind of soft skills and the personality that you need to be able to
I think it's a mixture of both, but he also just puts you through a vigorous fucking training program of the things you'll need.
Did you say 30%?
30% of the interns.
Each sounds like he's a charitable man, but I look at that and go, obviously you have something of value. That's
we talked about that too.
Really useful to people trying to get these awesome gigs for a
we
big
talked
corporate.
About that too, and I was like, why aren't you charging for this?
Stop giving away your special.
And he made a great point. He said, say 50 people sign up to his class every year.
Yep.
Only about 10 to 15 end up at the end of the class because he kicks people out.
Yep.
He kicks them out immediately if they don't do the work.
Bloke's got standards. And
he said he's very rough with it. And he said as soon as you start charging people, you can't kick them out.
Yeah.
And he won't have such a great success rate.
Yeah,
and then he also said in his Discord, so the people that pass generally will stay in the Discord and they will become mentors for the next group of people. So he's growing a network. So in this Discord server is the best of the best in Australia at programming and AI engineering. Sure. So in 20 years, he said these people are going to be the heads of Google, the heads of Facebook.
Yep.
So he's going to have this network of he's building a fucking the Avengers.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous community of tech heads.
Just geniuses. Yeah. But he's such a normal dude.
Yeah, sure.
It was crazy. But but besides that, this one I didn't have to think about because I can just sit down and
Shannon,
talk.
you're a dumb cunt. Let's have a chat. You're from down south, bro. You're fine. Yeah.
Did you watch you watched UFC 285?
I did watch it.
You're not a Jon Jones fanboy.
I think Jon Jones is a piece of shit.
As a human?
As a human. I'll preface that with he's a ridiculously amazing athlete.
The best of all time.
I would, he's obviously the GOAT for a reason. He is fucking amazing. But for me, I'm generally go along the lines of if you don't seem to be a good human, I don't give a fuck how good you are at whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
I don't want to bar of you.
It's hard though with those elite, those extreme fucking winners because a lot of them are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Because they are just, you can't be normal.
Yeah.
But he takes it to a different kind of not normal sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that to an extent. I think ultimately you still want to be a good human. And obviously I don't know Jon Jones from bar of soap.
What was the one that got you with him?
I just think it's more like the history of Jones. You go back through you go back through allegations of domestic violence. You go back through the hit and run incident.
That was the worst one, I reckon.
Not that I'm defending this bloke at all. Did he know that he... Actually, I'm not going to speak about this because he wouldn't know that obviously that person was pregnant. But regardless of who he hit, he probably should have checked if they're okay.
Always, if you get in a car accident.
Fuck, are you all right? Am I okay? Is the person next to me all right? Shit, better go check if they're all right. But his first priority was himself at all times. And I just think, obviously, that highlights his character. I think he's a piece of shit. So, Jon Jones, fuck you.
Politely.
Polite, don't. He will make me his bitch.
Did you see that video? I don't know if it's recent or not. He was at a bodybuilding convention and he was in like a booth. He must have been doing something for a brand deal.
Yeah, okay.
And this bodybuilder...
Obviously, because he's in the steroid game as well, so that makes sense.
He's
Yep.
big unit.
Yep.
And fucking one of these blokes was like edging towards death. This big bodybuilder was trying to arc up to him and was like, "You're a piece of shit." And Jon Jones was like, "You don't.
Yeah.
Just...
Yeah.
You don't want to do
Yeah,
this."
there's a line that I suggest you don't cross.
You just don't want to do it.
I'm in agreement to that. So, if you have big opinions about anyone, like you almost have to stand by that and reap the repercussions of your big mouth.
That's a bad repercussion.
Perfect example would be Kobe Covington or whatever his name is, talking shit about...
With Masvidal.
Yeah. So I'm like, there's some things that, depending on who the individual is, everyone obviously has their own tolerance line. Like, you went too far with him. So there's consequences for that at some stage. So
the best one to date will always be when Conor McGregor kept saying that Dustin Poirier's wife was in his DMs.
Yep.
And then he had his leg was snapped. He snapped his leg, and his leg was fucking toasted.
Yeah.
It snapped in half, and he still mustered up the strength to talk shit about Dustin while he was on the
it's
floor.
fucking... He's a different breed.
Apparently, him and Michael Chandler have gotten into it already.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. Like, Conor just knows how to get under people's skin. He's
what he-
the ultimate showman.
It's what he does.
Oh, he is the best at what he does in regards to, like, the mental aspect or getting inside his opponent's head or building hype around a fight. Like, his skills...
His marketing is elite.
Obviously are amazing as well, but then put that on top of the personality, his marketing, how he dresses, how he engages, how fucking funny he is.
There's no one like as quick off the mark as Prime Conor was. Like just
Yeah,
when that fight with Aldo, I felt so bad for Aldo leading up to that fight.
Oh, dude, Aldo's such a humble and respectful dude. You look at Aldo and, say for instance, I had the skills of Aldo, which I would never have the skills.
Not ready for.
No, I don't think anyone would be. Like, you would have to know that sign in the fight. Like, this is going to be a rough 8 to 10 weeks. Like, this motherfucker is going to talk.
And he's good.
Oh,
like,
dude,
and he's also a good. Like, you don't
Yeah.
just have to worry about him talking shit. This is when Conor was like fucking red hot.
Oh, dude, he was ridiculous. When he was on, he was on.
Yeah, there was nothing like a Prime Conor fight.
Yeah, you got fucking excited. Yeah, big time.
That Aldo fight, I still remember where I was. I was at Christie's Beach pub watching it.
One of the greatest. Yeah, that was insane.
Was that Rockhold card? Was that the Rockhold Bisping card?
I don't know. Where Bisping obviously got the knockout.
Yeah.
That was insane.
I think that
I'm a
was
big
that card.
Bisping fan. I've loved him forever.
I used to fucking hate Bisping, but when he retired was when I've like started appreciating him more because he kind of wasn't putting on that act.
Yeah.
But his documentary is fucking amazing too.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm pretty keen.
His doco's really good.
I have gone off.
His missus is from Adelaide.
Yeah, definitely. I knew that. So he spends a fair bit of time, I guess, in Australia. Not only for like work stuff, but obviously his missus' family's here. But I used to love MMA more broadly, but UFC specifically. I was obsessed for fucking years. Like from the age of 16 to probably 26. I was like every day, like reading news, watching videos, watching all of the like archived fights.
I was saying
obsessed.
that. I was saying that the other day. Like ever since because I used to like a fight card for me would take up the whole day because I'd watch the post-fight press conference, then I would have to watch like the interviews, and then I'd have to watch Luke Rockhold. I mean, Luke Thomas and all that breakdown, the fights. And fucking like it used to be like a whole day affair.
It's immersive.
And then the week you leading up, you're watching all the fighter interviews and shit. Now I don't have as much time, and then I used to watch I don't have time really to watch Bellator and shit anymore. I can't because it takes up my whole Sunday.
It's crazy. I think maybe I don't know how or why, but definitely isn't the priority in my life anymore that it used to be.
It was so funny. We were in bed, I think it was yesterday, and my missus was on TikTok, and there was this, I think he was a gay dude. He was doing a TikTok, and he was like, straight dudes are more gay than gay men because we like watching attractive women dance and perform on stage. And this is while I'm watching fucking the card that just passed. Who was it? It was who just fought?
I don't know.
The fight night. Oh my god, what am I? Oh, it was Marab and Peter Yan.
Yeah.
Marab and Peter Yan.
Yep.
And I was watching that fight just like a fucking Neanderthal, just like, oh.
Yeah.
And she just looks at me and starts laughing. And she's like, because he said, we like to watch girls perform. Dudes like to watch men half naked wrestle each other.
Yeah, fair comparison. Yeah, I think probably the issue is if you're watching UFC and you're starting to get an erection would be the issue. But
Oh, doesn't everyone?
yeah, depending on the fight, yeah.
Did you watch that Peter Yan fight?
No, I haven't seen it.
Do you like Peter Yan?
Yeah, I think he's an animal.
Don't watch that fight then.
Was it shit?
No, he got fucking worked.
Yeah.
That Marab cunt is the scariest dude at 135.
Oh, I need to see it.
Dude.
I'll go back to KO.
49 takedown attempts or 51 takedown. He broke the record for takedown attempts.
Fuck me.
Yeah, because he at the end of the 25 minutes, he wasn't even panting.
Yeah, I was gonna. What was his conversion rate? Like,
I think he
landed.
landed 10 or 11 or maybe.
Yeah, that's insane.
But he couldn't hold him down.
Yeah.
But when Marab doesn't, he literally will throw 2 punches and then grab your leg and drag you, and then he'll get back up and punch you in the head. Like he just
do it again. Just relentless.
Did not fucking stop.
Yeah.
Did not stop.
Those dudes are a different breed, man. I think anyone who's done any form of training that involves like grappling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, whatever it happens to be, knows that there's a cardio difference. Like,
I think he used to train.
Box all day, and then you feel all right. I've done fuckloads of rounds. I've done 15 rounds of boxing. I'm on top of my game. Do like 1 or 2 rounds of like grappling rounds.
Or hard wrestling.
I am cooked.
Yeah, and I think he trains at like 9,000 meters above sea level. Because he's from fucking wherever he's from. I think he's from Uzbekistan or Georgia. He's from Georgia.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
but I think he was raised in the mountains as well. Yeah. And those dudes, genetically, I swear their lung capacity is just better.
Oh, for sure. I think there's heaps of research that indicates that altitude training is a massive benefit.
And when you're born in it.
Yeah, that's just your life. Those Eastern European dudes are just built different though.
They're scary.
Yeah,
if there's a stand at the end of it or like a Z in there.
You can even just tell like their physical appearance and the like, so they just seem harsher in the eye.
And I think a lot of them, because of like majority of them are devout Muslims, it comes with a real sense of like discipline that we will never understand.
Yeah.
Because being a devout Muslim is a hectic lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a very big different. Like Khabib and that, when they win their fights, they don't go out and celebrate. They go out and eat and then they train the next day.
Yeah.
It's
a different breed, man.
Like there's no bender.
Yeah, the discipline stuff. I'm obsessed with like discipline and how obviously people leverage their own discipline to be successful or to live a healthy life or to get satisfaction or fulfillment, because I'm the least disciplined dude in the world, man. And I look at, say, the contrast between my wife and myself. I'm probably the most motivated motherfucker in the world, but like motivation just dips. It comes with like ebbs and flows. Yeah. Something will pop up and I'm going to be like, fuck yeah, I'm doing it. And then I'll be like balls deep. I'll be like in the deep end.
That's that ADHD, brain.
Bro, it's hectic. And then probably like a couple of weeks later, I'm like, fuck it. Whatever. Oh, next interest, bang. But like my wife religiously, like 4:20 in the morning, every day goes to the gym. Like rain, hail, shine. Like she could be tired. She could have a shit sleep. Like she could be busy. That doesn't matter. She's up every day and she just goes to work, and her results speak for themselves, man.
Fuck,
it's crazy.
I wish I could do that.
I want to be able to like somehow I don't know, pretend I'm a fucking baby bird and spit that discipline into my mouth, because I've got fucking nothing.
Yeah, I can't. I'm the same. I have like, you can tell from my YouTube search history what I'm into, because like I'll just go fucking so deep into something. Like I was really into watching like science experiments for like 2 months.
Okay.
Like just weird shit. I just get real fucking like deep into a niche.
Yeah,
and I'll fucking get
that's niche.
Like skateboarding.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, I thought it'd be cool like to learn how to skateboard, so I bought that.
Yep. It looks pretty fresh, actually. You did fuck all on that,
I did. Oh, no, because I fucking fell off it, and I was like, oh, that hurts.
The reality of skateboarding sucks.
Well, when you're like fucking 13 and you fall off a skateboard, you
bounce up.
You bounce off your head on the concrete onto your feet. Now, like if I fall, I'll break my hip.
Dude, I have an 8-year-old daughter, and we or still now, scooters. But when she first started being like, oh, I want a scooter, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, let's do it. Like, this will be cool. I'll get a skateboard. Because I was like younger, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, whatever, skated. Always terrible. Like, the boys were amazing. I was always shit. Like, it was pretty much just me wanting to be included in whatever was going on. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go down to MV2, obviously, chat to the boys, the girls, get a board. And they're there and they're showing me all these different setups. And I'm like, oh, yeah, reliving my youth. This is dope. And I went, do you know what? Just give me the one that I can just push and I'll be able to just coast for a while.
Yeah.
Like, give me those long boards. I don't need anything where I'm going to break my legs, ankles, arms. I don't need it anymore. I'm too old. I couldn't do it.
Did you have a fall?
No, like, I just know, like, my body's cooked now. So,
Yeah,
like, no doubt, like, I'll get a proper deck and I'll be like, oh, yeah, give something a crack. Like, you know, try to relive the youth and I'll stack it and I'll probably fucking die.
So you used to actually train jiu-jitsu and all that pretty heavily too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Or
probably,
enough.
like, enough, yeah, not heavily. Like,
Yeah.
definitely not, like, to a high level.
Yeah.
And definitely no good. So, if anyone calls me out, I was shit.
But yeah, you can't do any of that. And you haven't tried.
Yeah. So, I guess for context, not December just gone, the December prior, suffered a brain injury. So, all of last year, which was 2022, was pretty much spent recovering from a brain injury, doing shitloads of rehab, working with neurologists, working with a team of OTs, physios, psychs, you name it. So, pretty much because of that injury, it's strongly advised that I never get hit in the head again. So I shouldn't be putting myself in positions where I'm likely going to absorb head trauma. So,
And the thing that put the nail, wasn't it a jet ski?
Yeah.
Or a wakeboarding?
Yeah, that was definitely like...
Was that the one that put the nail in it?
Yeah, I reckon. So I think all you can do is speculate, because it took me quite a while to, I guess, seek some support in regards to my symptoms. So I guess it was a weekend in December. So I was training at CCMA, so Adam Hartley, love that bloke. So I was training with him. He also owns the CCMA gym in Weiler. So I was going up there to do a comp between Weiler and Port Lincoln. So rock up, and I think it might have been the Friday. So Friday night, it's like sparring rounds and the like. So always inspiring, you cop a couple of shots. Didn't think anything of it. Had a grappling match the next day, and I smashed my head pretty hard in the grappling match. But as you always do, you just shake it off. You're like, oh, that kind of sucked. And a mate hit me up and went, oh, I've got a new boat. Do you want to come up the river on Sunday? So I was like, yeah, dope, let's do it. So yeah, went up on the Sunday, and I got flung off the back of like the floaty device, whatever they're called. And I think he's, a bit of speed to it. My head smashed into one of the boys' hips or the water or something. And instantly I was like, oh, something's not right. Like, I don't feel good. This is not.
Was
not
it fun. like a head sickness or like?
Yeah,
like
just instantly was like
something was wrong.
I didn't feel right within myself, but like my vision was dodge. I felt nauseous instantly. Like straight away, I was like
your depth perception was all fucked.
Just off balance. It was just felt off, and I've been concussed a trillion times, which is part of the issue. And I'm like, oh, this just kind of feels a bit different, but again, just shake it off, get on with life. And about maybe 30 minutes later, the boys were like, oh, we're going to go wakeboarding. And I went, yeah, awesome, let's do it. So went wakeboarding, and I caught what's like the front lip of the wakeboard. So essentially slingshot myself face first into the water at speed. So anyone who's wakeboarded or done any form of water sports, like when
it's
you
like
hit the water,
concrete.
yeah, it sucked. And I remember kind of being in the water, realizing like, did I just lose consciousness or not? Not sure. Like it was kind of happened super quick. Yeah, I don't know if I can't remember if I had a life jacket on or not, but I guess for anyone out there, always wear a life jacket. But I remember like my vision was like fluoro green. Everything was just off. Oh, sorry, fluoro blue. And instantly I was like, oh, I'm not right. This is bad. So I guess subsequently they said my brain injury was post-concussive syndrome. So heaps of AFL players have it or have experienced it. So yeah, it's pretty common-ish once you start to dig around for it. But at the time I knew nothing about it. And yeah, it's had a pretty massive impact on my life. Not just mine,
That's fucking insane.
My girls as well. So last year was pretty rough.
Yeah, fucking. It's so weird because with concussion and shit, like I've given myself fucking thousands of concussions just being a stupid boy, like doing dumb shit. But you don't think about it.
Yep.
But then you see those fights of those Justin Gaethje, Tony Ferguson wars, and is it luck that he's not a fucking are they not vegetables, or is it going to catch up to him when they're it's just crazy that some people just have that
feel
one
like they
thing.
can absorb it,
But some people can absorb so much fucking damn. But it's probably in detriment to them because it's probably going to be 20 times worse for them when they're fucking 60.
Yeah, for sure, man. So
Tony, that fight with Tony Ferguson, that changed his whole career.
Yeah.
That one with Justin, where do you remember it?
Yeah, it was brutal.
But, that was the first time ever I was like, I don't feel comfortable watching this.
Dude, I can't watch the fights
that's
the same.
Thing,
I can't watch it the same anymore. I go
get sketched out.
Yeah, I just
bit of PTSD almost.
Yeah, it's a weird experience now. So even the fucking slap promotion that Dana's involved in, I think it's a joke within itself. But I look at it, and maybe in the past I would have been like, "Oh, that dude got KO'd. That was insane."
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you were. You're scrolling hard for it, aren't you?
I don't love it, but
It's interesting to watch.
If it was well-respected athletes, I'd be like, okay, this is fucked up, but they're fucking hillbillies.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit less brutal for me.
I'm just like, are you rejects of other combat sports, and your sole ability is to be able to hit someone who knows you're going to hit him and has no defensive options,
dude.
And then secondly, you may or may not have a chin, which obviously we all know doesn't fucking last forever. Like the chin's the first thing to go on an athlete.
Oh, it's a sport that you can do for 1 year,
mate. It freaks me out, and the studies of CTE are real. So
I just always remember that Ferguson fight when he wanted to be there, but his body just shut off, and he was shaking his head, like he was having a full almost fucking thing within his own head. His body just wanted to turn off, but he's too tough.
Yeah.
So he just wouldn't shut off, and he was just shaking his head. He's like,
pride and ego is real, man. Particularly with guys, and I think that's probably in that particular weekend was a bit of a downfall of mine where I just dismissed everything. I'm fine, I'm okay. But I think probably what was worse for me is I have a pretty extensive history of head knocks already, footy, motorbike, skateboarding.
Yeah.
Younger, being a dickhead, as a lot of young males do, out and about in town, and got into a little bit of trouble as well. So
the amount of time,
constantly taking head knocks.
I used to jumping off shit and doing fucking flips, back flips, and fucking when I was fitter, I used to be able to do fucking run up walls and do back. But the amount of times I landed smack bang on the middle of my fucking skull, and I'd just get up and be like, hurt.
To be fair, it makes so much sense now.
Yeah, but I 100% have CTE symptoms because I think my memory's just fucking deteriorated because of it mostly.
Yeah,
but the worst of it's ever happened was I remember there was one time at M16 I was sparring Harry Gabrielson, who's a fucking animal.
Yep.
And I kept dipping my head to the left, and Harry's left switch kick is fucking so good.
Yep.
And Miles was like,
it's coming.
Stop dipping your fucking head. And I was like, I'll be alright.
Yeah.
And he's like, stop dipping your head, Sav. And as soon as he said that, I dipped my fucking head, and Harry's just gone boom.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I was out on my feet. Yeah. But I was still sparring.
There, but
I was... For 20 seconds, I wasn't there.
Yeah, you're not right.
And then I went home and I was in the car and I just remember I was like, I don't remember anything from the whole session. I just didn't remember anything.
Yeah, that's happened to me a few times where you get caught in the moment, and when you're competitive as well, and I fucking love sparring. There is nothing more than I enjoyed than doing hard sparring rounds. I want to test myself. I want to get in your face. I want to make it a hard night for anyone. Also knowing that I'm not the most skilled fucking striker in the world either. So the amount of headshots you just naturally take when you enjoy it, which sounds a bit weird for those that don't fucking do combat sports, but the competition component for me was a massive driver. And I'm in my head, I'm not quitting. I know you just kicked my head off my shoulders and I'm dazed, I'm confused, but I want to keep going. Let's go.
Oh, fuck. I'd rather... the weird thing is I'd rather get knocked clean out than get dropped with a body shot.
Oh, I say this all the time as well, and particularly...
It's probably different for you now. You'd probably prefer to take a body shot now.
I just know how bad it is. And even leg kicks are just so
debilitating.
the worst experience
For
ever.
people who've never been kicked in the thigh or even checked a kick, checking a kick hurts fucking more. It just hurts them too.
Yeah, sometimes you need to just make an assessment. You're like, do I just absorb the leg kick
or break my shin?
Yeah, or do I suck up the pain of a check, knowing that I'm going to inflict pain on them as well?
If someone just taps and they know how, if someone knows how to kick and they just lay a real gentle kick on your thigh, and you're not conditioned for it. Like now, I haven't been kicked in the thigh really hard for fucking years.
Yep.
Because I spar rarely, but if I do, I don't get really toasted up on the legs too much.
Yep.
But it's the worst feeling.
It actually sucks
because you can't just wince and like you got to act like it doesn't.
Poker face comes.
You got to act like it doesn't fucking hurt, even though it hurts. And then you check a kick and you're like, oh, it's fine. I'll check that. But then you go on shin to shin with the cunt, and their shin's made of fucking steel.
Oh, dude, I've had like nerve damage from checking kicks because I think I've like squished, I don't know, some form of nerve in my shin from checking kicks, to the point where like even walking was just super painful. I'm like, just absorb the leg kick, Shannon.
Stop and now checking. Fucking people are kicking people in the calves and shit.
Yeah, it's a different world. So back in the day, I think I was about 20. I was training at a particular gym, and I think it was my first week or two there. Had not really done any proper training prior to that, and this bloke there who actually, I'm not sure if he competed before our sparring session, but was one of the top guys who was always going to be fighting, having fights, amateur and the likes, whatever it happened to, I guess, progress from there. And we're sparring, so it was like sparring, and then later on it was like a jiu-jitsu seminar. And we're sparring, this dude just kept chopping my legs out, like non-stop chopping my legs. And I'm there like trying to be super proud, like, no, don't quit. It's fine. I don't know how long we sparred for. It felt like forever. We then went for lunch, came back for the seminar, and he was like, oh, so how long you been training for, man? I'm like, oh, like first week. He's like, what do you mean first week? And I was like, oh, I've never trained. He's like, dude, I thought you had kickboxing experience. I'm like, nah, mate. And he's like, I was smashing your legs. And I was like, yeah, I know. He's like, show me your legs. I remember pulling up my shorts, and this is only like half hour later. It was like from hip to knee.
And then you get home and you start shaking and shit because you like the tough act's gone.
Oh, bro. I just fetal position, just cried.
The amount of fucking times I like would come home from training and I'd be pretending I'm fine at training, and then I'd come home and I'd look at my missus and say, go get me a bag of ice right now.
Put me in a fucking freezer.
It's fucking insane. I remember, what was it? It would have been like a year ago. I sparred this kid and I think he wanted a fight. That was his aim. So I went in and sparred him just to like see it, like just to start sparring him so he got some like experience rounds in. And I made it a point. I was leg kicking him really fucking hard, and then I was like, I've never like dropped anyone or anything with leg kicks before. So I was like, I'll just fucking start railing his legs. I just forgot about punching.
Yep.
And I was putting as much as I could into these fucking leg kicks, like to the point where his legs started buckling. I was like, just go down. And I kept telling him, I was like, just fall. Like, just fall. Because I don't feel bad if it's a leg kick or a body shot.
Yeah.
Because you can wail on him a little bit. But I was trying to fucking just break his leg at this point. By the end of it,
ruthless.
I was just trying as hard as I could to stop him with a leg kick. I was like, just stop. And he wouldn't fucking stop.
Yeah.
And it was so annoying. But then afterwards, he's like, I'm going to need like a month off.
Dude, imagine the pain that he was in for like the following week.
He fucking kept going though. But leg kick, I reckon, is definitely, besides a body shot, I still reckon body shot's the worst way to get done in because you're literally immobilized.
You almost have you have absolutely no control. A leg kick, you go, if I can absorb pain and I'm stubborn enough.
Like I don't have that.
Up until a point where your leg just gives out, you don't have a choice. But up until a point, you know, I can absorb this for as long as I can until my legs completely.
Some people are just freaks, like, and it's not even a pain tolerance; it's the inability to think that losing's an option. Like Henry Cejudo and Demetrius Johnson. Yeah. Henry's leg was fucking toast in the first 30 seconds of that fight.
Yeah.
And he just pushed through.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, some people are just wired.
Like Jon Jones, when Vitor Belfort had him in that
armbar?
fucking armbar, he was just like,
I'm not losing.
Just take my arm. Like, and then he beat the fuck out of him with that arm and then submitted him.
Yeah, you've definitely got to respect those guys in I guess, those arenas where they can showcase it.
I think there's and I don't think there's anything, another sport even close to fighting, because you're in there by yourself.
Well, that's the thing that I loved about it the most, is even not being able to compete in any circumstance, even just in the gym, where everyday life example, someone, I don't know, I can beat you in a game of soccer or table tennis. And in my head, it's probably a little bit twisted, but I'm like, who gives a fuck? The ultimate form of combat, the ultimate form of competition is, hand-to-hand combat. And I'll fucking choke you unconscious or I'll fucking knock you out cold. So got to the point where I just looked at it as like the pinnacle of competition. And being ultra competitive myself, I'm like, well, why bother with all of these when I get here? And if it, push comes to shove, I just felt like,
especially now, because MMA athletes now are actual athletes.
Yeah.
Like maybe go back 20 years ago, there was still brawlers in there, but now almost every person in a big promotion is there because they're an athlete.
I reckon you even see it at a super local level.
You can.
With particular gyms, guys might play footy or other kind of other sports, and they'll come in during their off season to go, I just want to give, I don't know, kickboxing a go or jiu-jitsu a go. And they're coming in and they're fucking strong. They're athletic. They already have decent cardio. Yeah. Like kids these days, obviously, like I think it's a great thing for their physical and mental well-being. But like, there's so much importance put on like going to the gym, having an active lifestyle. Where
jiu-jitsu's growing up and I was exploded now too.
Yeah, 100%. We live in different worlds. We grew up wanting to get on the piss and smoke cones or whatever it happened to be. Kids are like, I'm going to the gym.
Yeah, kids are really into it's so true. Like kids these days are way more health conscious than I ever was.
I rate it. I'm all for it. I reckon.
Yeah.
They should continue to do that. But
do kids still go to like a shed and smoke bongs with their friends? Do kids these days have the friend with the shed? Did you have a friend with the shed?
Yeah, had a friend with a shed.
I had a friend with the shed. Yeah. That was the shed.
Yeah. Yep.
There.
Yep. We were
smoke
at the
your first cone
every week for fucking years. We almost got to the point where in our early 20s we're just sitting around like, the fuck?
You were there last week.
Yeah. I'm going there after this.
Still at the shed. That's why the podcast is perfect in a shed.
Yeah.
It's the shed.
All right. Well, pack a billy. No,
pack a billy. Fuck. I don't think. When's the last time you smoked weed?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I couldn't drink it, or it was advised. And I didn't drink during my rehab process because of my head. But it got to
so you couldn't look at natural light and shit, eh?
Yeah, there was a while where I was just pretty much in bed, unable to do much. So even having a conversation, I was like, was super difficult. Couldn't process what someone was saying. So I was like confused easily, brain fog, like migraines constantly.
Do you still get pain?
Yeah, so I still got like some sensitivity to sound is a pretty big one.
Like loud.
Yeah, yep. So I still struggle with that a bit. I get a bit twitchy. Like fatigue is a big one that I still notice, and sometimes like a bit of brain fog. So I guess ultimately now I just have to manage that. So I kind of set up my week and my life to allow me to live to the highest level I can without being too impacted by, I guess, these leftover symptoms.
That sitting in a fucking dark room shit's fucking horrible.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. So what happened when I realised I was fucked, I was like, oh, this is no good. And it happened to be coming up to the end of the year. So I only had a couple of weeks left at work before we went on kind of like a closure period over that Christmas, New Year period. So I pretty much went, I'll just have the next couple of weeks off, try to get better, thinking it was just a pretty bad concussion. The new year came, so I probably had about 3 to 4 weeks off over that period. The new year came, and I naturally went, I still feel like shit, but it's been ages. Like, I'll be fine. Like, yeah. I'll go back to work and I'll go back to training. So in training, probably taking shots without even realizing I'm taking shots and making it worse. But I was at work, like trying to do a pretty intellectual role, and I was really, really struggling. And it got to the point where once I started to get some more advice in regards to, mate, we think it's pretty serious and you should probably like drop everything and focus on your recovery. I was able to do that, but me being me, like kept pushing it a bit harder. Yeah. And then, got to the point where I had this massive medical episode and ended up in hospital for a couple of days after having what they thought at the time was a seizure or a stroke or,
Fuck.
Yeah. So it was super scary. I went home, had a sleep because I was pretty fit, so I wasn't feeling good at all. And the idea was that my wife would come home from work, she would wake me up, and we'd go walk to pick up our daughter from school together because the school's pretty close. I remember she came home and she woke me up, and instantly I'm like, oh, something's not right. Something feels so weird. And I'm just kind of like smiling and nodding, trying to work out what's going on. But I was like, oh, I don't want to freak her out. And I was trying to move parts of my body, and I'm like, I can't really move. Like, this is fucking weird. So I'm just smiling and nodding, and she walks away. And I'm trying to get up, and like just couldn't move my body. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I like started to try to speak, and I'm like, I can't even really speak. So she comes back and she sits on the side of the bed, like not realizing that anything's going on, but she's speaking, and she might move to the other side of the room, but the audio of her voice is still coming from this position.
That's fucking weird.
So I'm like, am I fucking tripping out? Like, is this happening? Is this not happening? What's going on? And super quick, she realized something was wrong. So she called the paramedics, and they came and did their thing. But I went through this probably for, I don't know, maybe 5 hours where I couldn't move my body, so almost like locked in syndrome. So essentially the paramedics are there and they're going, all right, so, he's lost consciousness. And I'm laying there going, no, I haven't, motherfucker. I can hear everything you guys are saying. I know what's going on. I just can't move. I can't do anything about it.
That's fucking creepy.
Yeah, so that was probably like the straw that broke the camel's back. And then it almost went, yeah, Shannon, you're fucked. Let's bring it back to super baseline and rebuild you from there. So
that's fucking insane. I remember because I fucking had to wear an eye patch for like 2 months. So it's the dumbest fucking story, eh? Because I think I told you it. I fucking bite my nails really bad.
Yeah.
So my nails are jagged. And one day I came home from like Muay Thai or something, and I was at my missus' house. She's now my fiance, but at this time she was just my missus. And I went to her house, and we were in her room. And
you scratched your eye, didn't you?
Yeah, I fucking was like being a dickhead and like fucking flexing in front of the mirror in front of her. And I went like this, and I fucking put my thumb dead in my left eye.
Yeah.
And because my nail's jagged, I fucking scratched my cornea really bad.
Yeah.
And she was laughing. I was like, no, like
this is not good.
This is really bad.
This is not good.
So I went to fucking hospital, and they gave me eye drops, and I had to wear a eye patch.
Yeah.
But I couldn't look at light for like a month and a half, 2 months. Like I literally the little charging light on a phone would fucking make me want to just like freak out. Like it was so painful.
Yeah.
It was the worst. It was fuck. And now every now and then I fucking get a real pain in my eye.
Okay.
But I went to get it checked. Apparently it's like all good. But like I think it's just like a ghost pain.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Because whenever anything happens, it always happens to this eye. I always say I'm gonna lose this eye one day because I always fuck it up. It's just this eye.
Just manifesting an eye loss.
I'm prepared for it. I am prepared for it because whenever
you just like the patch look. You were fucking rocking it. You're like, yeah.
I didn't mind it.
I'm a pirate.
Yeah, I had an Adidas patch.
Yeah, nah. You would have as well. Fuck, you can't. You were the first Eshe, weren't you?
Oh no, Miles was.
Yeah, you M16 boys are different.
Yeah, Miles was. Miles was he's like the Blade, like the first day walker.
I don't know who or where it came from, but I reckon I saw a meme and it was like, how do you know when the M16 crew comes for open mat? And it was like a picture of just like fongs TNs. And stuff at the then just TNs. And I'm like, so fucking true.
No, I think we're on the Crocs game now.
Oh yes.
I'm buying my first pair of Crocs soon.
Yeah,
I've been shown the way.
Look, each to their own, man. I respect.
Have you worn them?
I haven't.
Dude.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Is it super comfy?
You never wear another pair of shoes again. And you can get plugs for them now, so you can like dress them up.
What are you talking about?
You can get like Wu-Tang plugs to plug in the holes.
Stop.
Like accessories.
That's no. Fuck off.
You can get accessories.
I'm leaving.
But yeah, fuck. So he brought his cameras in today as well, but we didn't have the right connection. But fuck, those are some serious pieces of hardware.
Yeah, man. I think, like I was saying before, you kind of have to invest in your gear so you can produce quality not only through like your own skill, but making sure that clients realize like, oh, I'm not just a random dude rocking up with shit gear. Like, I know what I'm doing, I love what I'm doing, and we're going to produce something fucking cool together. So yeah, cameras, lenses, all of the accessories that go with it, like I'm pretty keen on. So it's an expensive job, but I fucking love it, man. Like, so far so good.
Is it weird calling it your job now and not your hobby?
Yeah, to a degree, man. I had a strategy session yesterday because I've kind of 3 businesses and looked at them individually and looked at what I want from them in the next 12 months and trying to, I guess, look at what actions are required for me to be able to get to those objectives. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like, so I've kind of gone with the flow the last, say, 6 months, just organically just let things happen. And I was speaking to my wife or maybe a family member, and I just had like this realization where in my past roles, a lot of those roles required me to be quite strategic and to look at how we could achieve particular goals, and I guess to build up what's required in order to achieve that. So whether or not that's like skill acquisition or investing in staff or whatever it happens to be. And I just went, I haven't done this for my own business. Like, well, I've done this for a whole bunch of different organizations in the past. So yesterday I actually nutted out, I guess, a bit of an action plan in regards to how I'm going to try to achieve some cool goals. And yeah, it is weird to sit back and go, fuck, this is my job. So, but in saying that, man, like, I fucking love it. I honestly love it. So I get to meet the coolest people. As an example, like over the weekend, I was shooting a couple of weddings. I love shooting weddings.
Yeah, you were saying
they're so fun, man. You go there,
when you remember to hit record.
Yeah, hit record always. If you're doing video, make sure that red button's pressed, man.
That was once. It was one time.
They never knew.
They never knew.
You edit it in a particular way. No one knows. But yeah, like I have the privilege of being led into couples' lives to be able to document their day.
Yeah.
Everyone's there. They're dressed good. They're feeling good. Generally, the type of couples I want to shoot, I lean towards like the non-traditional couples. Like, I'm not a big fan of conservative kind of vibe. So
You want to be at a fun wedding.
I want to be at a fun wedding. I want like young couples that want to get loose, have fun, muck around. Obviously, we get some fucking awesome shots or awesome videos. That's kind of my vibe, and I love doing it. And then I get to partner that with working with businesses to make their socials pop, or to support them with a website, or to do TV ads. I did my first TV commercial probably a couple of months ago, which is super fun. So yeah, I just
TV.
TV ad. Yep.
No
I won't
shit.
say who it was for or what it was for, because it was pretty boring, pretty shit. But at least I can.
At least you did
tick.
it.
I did it. Yeah. So
TV's a real fucking dying source of media.
I don't
isn't
understand why they wanted to invest money into that. I look at the different digital strategies that businesses can implement and go,
TikTok.
mate, you could get bang for your buck across so many other platforms for a lot cheaper than you would through traditional media.
Who the fuck watches TV ads?
Dude, I don't know. Who the fuck watches traditional TV?
How much is a Super Bowl one of those? Those are different though, because everyone watches it. But how much does that boost your product?
The Super Bowl ad?
Yeah.
I reckon it would be pretty big.
You reckon
Yeah, I reckon
significant?
the return would be... I don't know. I think maybe the Super Bowl thing's probably like a cultural thing as well that we probably don't understand being in Australia. But
Those
surely,
ads are fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
They hire like
they're good,
the
man.
Rock and shit. To
dude, they're
do it.
amazing.
Yeah.
They're amazing. I think that's what I love to be able to try to do, is to be able to work with good businesses and fucking get badass content where, you know, their shit's bold and dynamic. It's a little bit edgier, something that they're proud of. It's super fun. So I'm pretty blessed, man, considering last year I was entirely cooked and was let go by the organisation I work for, to be able to kind of rebound and make this my gig and hopefully make a career out of it. I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, no, you're doing really well. You're doing really well with it.
Well, I'm not an entire vegetable anymore, so it's good.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. But fucking, yeah, so there's a lot to be done, though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of content to be made.
Mate.
It's a great industry. Do you do, like, short form clips and shit for people, too?
Yeah, so I guess generally when I'm working with people, it's to try to really understand who they are and, you know, what's unique about them. And a lot of the time when it comes to digital marketing, they're utilizing platforms like, say, Instagram or TikTok, and short form video content is the now and probably the way of the future for a little bit longer. So a lot of the content that I'm making is short form content.
That's the thing as well. As part of your job's probably seeing where the trends are going.
Yeah, it's a big part. I think part of my strategy myself was to almost give an insight to that, and maybe I'm super uncomfortable about putting myself out there on like my platforms.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of probably merit in knowing who works for particular organizations or businesses. So for instance, like people know who you are. Oh, that's Sav. He's a the podcast host, and I see you on your socials, and you build a bit of trust and a bit of understanding. So I kind of probably need to put myself out there, and then also let people know that I kind of know what I'm talking about as well. So talking about, these are some tips or tricks, or this is what our current trends are looking like. You should capitalize on this, or you should look at doing that. It's a big part of the gig, and probably not one I position myself well at. But I want to get a lot better at it for sure.
Yeah, no, it's just fucking, and we won't talk about it too much, but there's something that we want to work on as well.
Something in the pipeline. It's going to be good.
Yeah, just got to get it running off of its feet. Once we both the podcast itself now is pretty kind of streamlined.
Yeah.
I would like to start releasing 2 a week though.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be sick. The consistency is a big thing as well.
Because it's unedited, it's pretty easy. The hardest thing is having to find clips within them.
Yeah.
That's what takes me the most time.
Oh, I can imagine.
More than anything.
Having a cull for an hour or 2 hour podcast.
Yeah, it's just what's the best clip, out of all of that?
Yeah. Yeah, I reckon so far so good, man. You're killing it. The stuff that you put out, even the short form stuff over TikTok or on Insta,
I'm not doing too bad by myself, because I was talking to these blokes I know from Perth that do a really good podcast. It's called Club Good.
Yeah.
They're fucking legends.
Yep.
I was talking to them, and obviously it's easier for them to push out more because there's 2 of them.
Yeah, there's a team.
So there's 2 of them, so they don't need a guest.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they can push out 2, 3.
Yeah. And it's kind of like the divide and conquer kind of mentality, where it goes, we need to do X amount in order to post, or in order to stay relevant, or content.
Yeah.
And Bob, you can do this much, and Dave, you're doing this much, and 2 hands make light work. So
yeah,
that is the craziest part, and obviously you're experiencing as well. And that was probably the biggest kick in the teeth for me, is realizing that for the most part, I've always worked in a pretty big team.
Yeah, but now it's you.
Yeah, and I've been able to lead big, high-performing teams and work in these awesome environments where team culture is huge. And now I'm sitting at home by myself in my office going, yep, this is fucking
I don't
weird.
mind it though, because at least if mistakes happen, it's your fault.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least if something goes wrong, it's your fault.
Yeah.
You don't have anyone else to be upset with, kind of
Yeah.
thing. That's what I don't mind about the podcast. I don't mind doing it by myself, because at least if something goes wrong, I can kind of laugh it off.
Yeah. It was your mistake. You take
I'll take I'll just take that one on the chin.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But yeah, when you're working with people and someone fucks you or something, that's what gets me.
Does it?
The most, yeah. If someone fucks me
Okay.
out of my way, if something goes wrong and it's not my fault, that fucking really pisses me off.
You probably need to build that resilience component there, because people always make mistakes.
I can deal with it, but it just gets me. I wouldn't be rude about it, but in my head I'm like,
you're the weak link.
Why did you do that?
Yeah. No,
You've worked always in massive team environments, though, so you're used to that.
Yeah, and almost being able to identify people's strengths and weaknesses, and going, what are your areas for development? Firstly, I would love for you to invest in yourself so you can continue to grow, not just for the organization you're working for, but for yourself, because you're not going to be at this organization forever. Build some awesome skills and experiences, and then when you fuck off, be amazing at whatever you're going to do there. Yeah. Or what can I do as a person that you work with, or a leader, or whoever it happens to be, to support you with that as well. So I'm always looking at, when I've been in teams, going, cool, so we have some deficiencies here, or we're really good at this, or this is what we're well known for. Let's continue to do this amazing. Or if we want something else to pop, let's redivert our resources and time into this, and build our capabilities, our skills, and our knowledge, and be amazing at that as well. So I kind of like the puzzle of managing people and leading people, but I guess now that's not a thing.
I've always worked within kitchens.
Yeah.
So
different vibe, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's a different vibe, and if someone fucks you in a kitchen, it's fucking annoying. It's really, especially when you're working in a pretty high end, a real high stakes kind of environment.
Yeah.
Where if something goes wrong, there is no fixing it.
Yeah.
And it's kitchens are mainly a team journey, because they're your family.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
But if shit goes wrong, it becomes a very solo kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because you can identify that the issue, or the source of the issue came from there, and all of a sudden you're standing there going,
oh fuck,
hey guys.
It's stressful. But yeah, I don't know how I'd go working in a fucking office.
Have you there was a graph that I saw, and it showed, I guess, the time that we spend with people in our lives, or I guess, so for instance, the graph kind of displayed that like your parents, or the amount of time that you see your parents, like peaks from say 0 to, I don't know, 17, and then it drops off pretty significantly
after like 16.
After whatever it happens to be, because obviously you're out of home, you're living your life. Then it's kind of like your friends, and your friends probably from like, I don't know, 15 to maybe 25 are really like up high. You spend a lot of time with them, but then life gets in the way. You might have a partner, work's crazy, and it kind of drops off pretty quickly as well. And then it showed relationships, and that stayed pretty steady from like maybe, I don't know, mid-20s all the way through to 65, whatever. But the craziest part, and I guess it doesn't take a rocket science to see, is
work.
The work, man. The time that you're at work and the people that you surround yourself with is so important. So
well,
like,
if you're doing fucking a normal 40-hour week, that's what, 48, it's 160 hours a week.
Dude, obviously
a month.
We know that we spend more time at work than with our partners or kids or whoever it happens to be. So I'm a massive believer, like, surround yourself and work with awesome quality people, and make sure that going to work every day is super fun. But
well, when I was working up in the city here, I was working 90-hour weeks.
Yeah, they're big weeks.
When I was working in Sydney,
Yeah.
I was working minimum 90-hour weeks.
Yeah, that's fucked.
And we used to live with the people we worked with because it was at a resort.
Yeah.
So
in each other's pocket the whole time.
Yeah, but luckily the crew was really good.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
Yeah.
But if I was doing like a 105-hour week with people I
worse.
fucking hated,
Oh, dude,
it'd be the worst.
And there's always, you're not going to get along with everyone, but sometimes some people are obviously fucking idiots, and when you're with them or you're around them so long, it hurts.
It also just depends what you want out of, like, I know in that particular kitchen there was certain people there. You wouldn't get a bar out of them because they were just there to focus. They were like really fucking high level people.
Sure.
Like there was you wouldn't even know what they did after work.
Yeah,
we lived together.
Yeah, no connection. It was just
they
they're
were
doing
just
a job.
there for their job. But I also appreciate that too.
Yeah, okay.
I like going to work and just getting it done too.
I'm
and
kind of
just
looking at
shutting
that.
up.
I'll break you down.
I'm
at some
be
stage. We're going for a beer soon. You better believe it.
A beer, fuck. Oh,
you're still recovering, aren't you?
That Perth fucking trip really damaged me.
Yeah, you've changed.
I have.
Yeah,
I have.
It's like a trauma event where you're just not the same cat.
I'll drink like 4 or 5 beers now, and I'll just be like triggered. I don't know.
The stories. The last few podcasts I listened to, everyone's mentioned.
Dude, I wasn't even.
The whisperings.
I was probably not even the worst. I won't name people, but you know who you are.
I've heard names. I'm not even tight with some of these boys, and I've heard names.
Oh, fucking hell. That was a good trip. We're going to 2024 Bali.
Oh, man.
No, we won't.
Someone will die.
Thailand 2024.
No, fight trips are the best, man. I went to the first few UFC events when they were in Sydney, like boys trips, and King's Cross for 4 days solid, and similar. Like you send it pretty hard, and you come home and you're like, fuck.
I remember when I lived in Sydney, I really wanted to go to the Cross because everyone used to say it was like the roughest and like funnest place. And towards the end of me living in Sydney, I finally got the opportunity to go there, and I went there by myself.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't as rough as Hindley Street.
What year?
Hindley Street's way worse. Fuck, this would have been 9 to 10 years ago.
Yeah, you probably hit it at the mark where like some of the legislation changed in regards to the Cross.
When I went,
I
felt really safe, and I don't feel safe walking Hindley by myself.
Yeah, Hindley's
that's probably because I know people in Adelaide.
Yeah, Hindley's
and I was a rat bag.
It's a fucking hole. Yeah, I think everyone who grew up probably in our era ran around and had good times on Hindley Street, but I look at it now and go, I do not want to step anywhere near that place.
I was always a West Terrace boy.
Oh, West Terrace?
Yeah, I was always HQ.
Oh, yeah.
Because I couldn't get into Reds or anything.
Yeah.
I was a wog.
I fucking hate the nightclub scene anyway. I was never into it. I'd rather just go to a decent bar or a good pub. And
I've always been a really big pub guy.
Yeah.
Pubs are my thing more than anything.
Yeah.
Now.
A good pub they're hard to find.
I love getting hammered at the Woody.
Yeah, I haven't had a good session there in a long time. I was there recently with like my grandpa and my brother, and we were just having a couple of beers, and I'm sitting there.
How do you go with drinking now because of the head?
I'm all right. Yeah. I think like drinking naturally, I know isn't great for me. Like I just am my tolerance, I reckon, is pretty shit. So I'll wake up the next day and go, oh, I'm hungover. But it could be like a week later and I'm like, why is my mental health so cooked?
I'm still
like,
hungover.
yeah. Like, I don't feel great after drinking. So I feel like now I'm quite selective on the times that I am going to drink. So, my mum turned 60 the other week and she had a big event, birthday party at Adelaide Oval. And it was the first time I actually had a big drink since the brain injury anyway. But I was like, oh, it's a big do. I'm drinking. Let's go. So it probably took me like a week and a half to feel back to normal.
No shit.
I'm terrible on it now.
I'm usually one day. It'd take me.
I'm jealous.
It'd take me a day now.
Yeah.
I'm a bit older. But that Perth trip, I was out for a week.
Yeah.
A full week.
Yeah.
Adam Jones no one's seen him.
Is he still there?
he's just disappeared.
John Doe is in the fucking morgue.
No, he fucking
There's a random 7-foot cunt that we can't identify. Who is it?
He fucking was messaging me on the weekend, calling me a coward because I wouldn't come out and drink with him. He's on a full relapse, I reckon.
Yeah,
he's loving it.
Maybe we need to send some boys around, see if he's all right.
He lives up the road now.
Okay.
He lives a couple houses.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It was so funny watching him trying to squish into those Jetstar seats.
Oh, he should always be paying for extra leg room.
Dude, it's fucking hilarious. He was like sitting down and he is taller than me on those chairs, standing up, sitting down.
He's a big boy. He's fucking massive.
He's huge.
Dude, legs are days.
But do you have any other like fucking... Does this just consume you now?
Yeah, it does. I don't know. What do I like? So I always love combat sports, but that's kind of like
taking a back seat.
Yeah, taking a back seat. I love watching footy. Like I played it for a while and was, again, like every other sport I've done, always shit.
Who's your team?
Crows. What are you poor? Yeah, I can tell with the fucking no teeth and bum bag and all that shit. You look like an unsavoury character.
Oh,
so
no way.
Just for the record, I want to say fuck Port.
When's the showdown?
I reckon it's in the first couple of weeks.
We'll live stream it.
Yes.
We'll live stream our reaction to it.
Yeah, I'll probably be crying, no doubt. And you'll be like, fuck you.
I wouldn't fucking go into a showdown too fucking excited anymore.
Yeah.
Port's let me down enough.
Yeah, they have to fucking do well this year.
We got Jason Horn. We got Horn Francis. Yeah. He's a gun.
Yep, he is a gun. I'm excited for this footy season. So
I see. COVID fucked me. I didn't used to watch footy like religiously, but I'd watch it enough.
Yeah.
To like, I'd watch other games.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't just watch Port.
Yeah.
When COVID hit, I stopped watching football. But like, I didn't watch football for like a year and a half.
Oh shit!
Because it was just shit without the crowd.
Yeah, it did feel super weird.
It was, and I just didn't enjoy it. Yeah. So I stopped watching, and the UFC were putting on fucking bangers during COVID. Fight Island. They were as soon as they announced Fight Island, I was like, fucking geniuses, man. Yeah. Like they've made a Mortal Kombat fucking island for these people.
They did well. They did do well.
I think one of the first fights on Fight Island was Kevin Lee and Tony Ferguson.
Yeah. And
they're doing it back. They're running it back.
They are running that back, hey?
They're running
Kevin
it back.
Lee's back.
Kevin Lee's back for some reason.
Oh, he has good skills. That'll be interesting. Tony Ferguson, for his own well-being, someone just needs to step in and go, you're not fighting anymore. And secondly, you should never be allowed in front of a camera and ever do an interview.
I used to get really, really stoned.
No, you didn't. And listen to him?
And I used to watch Tony Ferguson interviews.
You can't recover from that. Oh, that's a psych ward.
Dude, he just doesn't... He does not make any sense.
No, he doesn't.
But
he's
in his head...
got those fucking speed dealer sunnies on.
In his head, he's like... He's thinking that he's saying some real, like...
Dude, I put him in like Diego Sanchez in the same basket where I'm like, no one knows what the fuck you're going on about.
I really enjoyed that saga where he had that Fabian...
That dude, mate, that's... I look at that and go... He needs help.
Did you see the video of him hanging upside down? Did you see that?
I can't remember.
Well, I think his name was Fabian something.
Yeah, that weird dude, yeah.
Have you not seen that video of them training and he's tied Diego like BDSM style upside down like he's a punching bag to condition his brain. He's been just punching him in the head up while he's upside down. He's just fucking punching him in the head.
Look, sometimes we laugh at things that we don't understand, but that could be maybe one of the next best training techniques.
I'll show you right now. One sec. Oh, wait up.
Yeah, so footy, any form of sport, I'm pretty keen on. I have a Harley as well, so I love just going for a ride and doing my thing. And
You like all dangerous things.
yeah, I think like I'm fairly impulsive as well, so I'm trying to just like chill that out a little bit. So I think
That's the CTE.
Yeah.
That's a massive.
I'm dying, yeah.
That's the same as me though. I'm very impulsive with decisions.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's also a sign of
well,
CTE.
you won't know until you die and get an autopsy. So that's the scariest part. Yeah, so just cruising my Harley, time with my family, working.
Just the
sport.
Aussie dream.
Just the Aussie dream, to be fair. I like to keep life pretty simple.
Let's see if I can find this now. I can't believe you haven't seen this. I think this was the nail in the coffin for that friendship. Diego Sanchez. And do you know what? He did really well against Kevin Lee in Eagle FC.
I didn't see that fight. I did hear about it though.
Dude, Kevin Lee did not do that well in that fight. He should have ran over him too.
Do we know why he's been brought back?
Fuck knows. He does have potential. He's just horrible fight IQ.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty good, but
He's alright. He's just got a bad fight IQ. I think if they slow roll him, he might. He's always fun to watch.
yeah.
But I wouldn't fucking bet on him. I just don't like his personality. I've never liked his personality.
That's probably like this fight this weekend, like Usman or whatever. I'm like, I can't stand the bloke.
I don't like Usman either.
No.
I can't find the video, but I'll show you after the podcast.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I've never liked Usman. I don't like his attitude, and I think once you start doing movies and shit, that I think Leon is gonna fucking level him this weekend.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Or I would like that.
This is going to be coming out after. So
after.
make
All
a
right,
pick.
predictions. I upsettingly think Usman's going to win.
Really?
I reckon he's just too dominant. Like he knows there's a big gap between their grappling abilities.
Yeah, but in that first round, before Leon fucking got in his own head, he took
him down.
Back.
Yeah.
And it was almost like he almost had a choke in.
Yeah,
but
I think
fucking
most
Usman
people would
grabbed his
say
glove.
though that there's probably like a skill difference between the two when it comes to grappling.
And how do you come back after getting KO'd like that? Do you get PTSD every time he fucking throws a feint?
I reckon he's just going to be smarter. I think he probably knows that
he's not going to keep it on the feet at all. Dude,
he was doing pretty well on the feet. Like I reckon for quite a few rounds he was out striking him. So it looked like to me that he was doing well, particularly when he was like pressing him against the cage and he was being able to like rip body shots and he was putting together some pretty decent combos. I reckon the takedown.
That's the best KO
grappling,
in UFC history.
It was
stakes-wise.
stakes. Okay, I was going to say Terry Adams' spinning back kick was.
If you're putting it up to like the moment and the stakes and how the fight went, that's the greatest moment in MMA history.
He just looked so deflated.
He was done, and then his coach gave him that fucking speech. Gives me goosebumps. And have you seen it where they play like the Rocky music over it and shit?
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
it's fucking insane.
Yeah, it was insane to go fifth round and you've pretty much copped a beating.
A minute to go.
Yeah.
And so it's this. My podcast intro has that fight like on the little TV in the corner of the cartoon. It's that fight, and you can hear Jon Anik.
Yeah.
And he says, DC's like, oh, he's checked out.
Yeah. And then Joe Rogan said something as well.
Jon Anik was like, oh, but that's not the cloth from which he's cut. And then he
did.
Fucking boom.
Yeah. Very cool.
Dude, fucking coolest moment in UFC history, in my opinion.
It was pretty cool.
And then the co-main is my fight of the year pick.
Yeah, Gaethje.
Gaethje versus Fiziev.
Yeah, I
think Gaethje's going to fucking bed.
Yeah, I don't have a prediction for that. I think it's just.
Are you familiar with Fiziev?
Yeah.
He's my favourite fighter in the UFC.
He's a violent man. He's very, very skilled.
Gaethje's not smart enough to try and take him down. And I don't think he could take him down. His anti-wrestling's too good.
Yeah.
His wrestling defense.
Like Gaethje's definitely seemed over the last couple of years to have like his fight IQ's definitely increased.
It's definitely raised since he's been with Trevor Whitman.
Yeah, I think there's elements though that he still gets caught in the moment.
Yeah,
kind of like what's his name? Massive mental blank. The 125 pound
Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah. So
he won.
I saw that,
dude.
I was
talking all that shit about him too.
I was always a big fan. He's so crisp, man. He's so crisp. His movement's so good.
But then he takes.
But he just gets caught in like these weird exchanges where he like almost bites down his mouthpiece and he puts himself open to getting clocked.
If Gaethje tries to do that with Fiziev,
I don't think he can't.
It's going to be a horrible.
Yeah, because he'll get caught.
He knocked out fucking Brad Riddell with a spinning heel kick.
Yeah, it is. He's a scary man. Dates, you have to be smart.
He has the funniest TikTok you'll ever see.
Oh, really?
Fiziev.
I'm not a TikTok dude.
I'm not TikTok, Instagram.
I'll have to check him out.
Fiziv's Instagram is like, he lives in Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. Sure. He's fucking hilarious.
All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah, he's funny. He's a funny dude. But yeah, he's one of those, like, isn't he? He wears a hat. What is it? Is he Russian? He'd be Russian.
I don't know. I don't know too much about this guy.
I think he'd be Russian. But yeah, he's one of the head trainers at Tiger Muay Thai, I believe.
Yeah, okay. Well. Gunnar Nelson's making a comeback or a bit of an appearance. I haven't seen him fight in ages.
I haven't actually looked at the whole card.
Yeah, sure.
I don't and it's weird because they put Ian Gary and shit on UFC 285. Yeah. You'd imagine that they would have waited for... He had a fight. Did you watch all of UFC 285?
Yeah.
Did you see Ian Gary? He was on the early prelims though.
No, I didn't. I caught it from like the prelims on like Fox.
Fuck, that's a fight to go watch back.
Yeah, all right, I'll have a look.
That's a fight to go watch back. That was such a good performance. And he went through like some adversity, but fuck, he's so good. That last little onslaught he put on was phenomenal. He's so good.
What, one on the feet is... How'd he win?
On the feet.
Yeah, sure.
But and that shove cut Rachmanov was so fucking good.
Yeah, man. There's some crazy talent.
Of course.
So someone just starting to whippersnipper? Or?
Yeah, Rachmanov versus Chimaev's going to be fucking really good fight if they ever can put it together.
Yeah, what's next for him?
Khamzat?
Yeah.
I think they're trying to get the Colby fight, which is a horrible fight for him.
Yeah, it'll be super...
That's the worst fight for him besides Whittaker, probably.
I would love to see the Whittaker fight.
But it depends what weight he's going to fight at, because I don't know if he can even make 170.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's so big.
He's a big boy.
He's big.
He some of his training footage is super scary.
Yeah, dude, he melts dudes in the gym. Yeah. And he's going 100% all the time.
How's he do that?
Oh, that's not coming through too much, that's all right.
Darren Till? Like, obviously he's just been released, but
he asked for his release.
Yeah.
He wants to do steroids. He wants to do like EPO. Yeah, he has horrible knee injuries.
Sure.
So he wants to take like a year or two off.
Sure.
To
get on it and see if it...
To take like EPO or fucking stem cells or whatever. He wants to take massive steroid cycles to help him fix his knees.
Yeah, okay.
Which I think's fair. That's what Connor did with his leg.
Oh, dude,
he's out the testing pool. He's fucking huge.
Stupid.
Him and Chandler's going to be the best first round MMA's ever seen.
I have a feeling that Connor will just get starched.
I reckon Connor's going to do it. I reckon he's going to win.
I want him to win.
You really? I hate watching Connor lose because he talks too much shit.
Yeah. I remember, honestly, I was watching whatever the card was when he fought Marcus Brimage, I think it was, or whatever his name is, Brimage. His first fight in the UFC. And was there watching it only by myself. And I went, fuck. Whoever this dude is,
like 1 round or 2 rounds.
He just looked amazing. He got caught a couple of times as well, but you could tell like he was fun.
He tore his fucking ACL and beat Max Holloway.
Yeah, that was crazy. So then after that Marcus or the Brimage fight, he was on the mic and I think that's when he went, "Oh, Dana White, 60 G's, baby.
60 G's, baby.
Whatever, blah blah." And then like the post-fight press conference, he's like, talking about their social welfare system, and he's like, "I guess I'm gonna have to tell him to go and fork off," or whatever he said. And I went, "This dude's hilarious. He's gonna be dope."
He's funny. When he started getting on the coke, he went through like a coke era, and he's like, I think it was with Khabib maybe.
He goes a bit too far sometimes.
I think with Khabib, he was like going a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think he fucked himself over because I think those boys don't... Being angry doesn't affect how they fight. Because he's just going to fight you how he's going to fight you.
Yeah.
He's going to maul you.
There's definitely a line. I think it's interesting. Like, you're about to go in and punch each other in the face, but I don't know. For me, like the cultural things or the religious things...
That's a bit too far.
Just fucking leave it alone.
Didn't he say that?
Khabib's wife was like a towel.
Like a trash can.
Legitimately.
Like a trash bag.
So fucking disrespectful.
It's so fucked. Like, and you don't talk about those dudes' religion.
Any other sport, that would have been such a huge sanction, if not like whatever the code of conduct or whatever it is. So just because it's combat sport
Dana White would be fired in any other sport
mate,
too. 100%. He hasn't had the best fucking year already.
No. Which, fuck me.
Dude, but... Because of that, he's just announced the best cards we've ever seen to take the heat off.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's a master marketer.
He is the greatest promoter that's ever lived.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think I'll miss him when he retires.
Yeah, he's definitely...
It's a wild fucking organisation to run. You're dealing with, like, 500 of the world's most testosterone and scariest, like, men and women in the fucking world.
Yeah. And
they're all so loose.
Weird.
They're loose units. They're not normal people. Like, they're allowed to go out and get fucked up and get in trouble. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it. Just because of the nature of the sport.
They're not footy players.
Yeah. They don't necessarily represent the UFC per se all of the time.
If a footy player goes out in town, gets pissed and grabs a girl's ass, which isn't okay, but say they go out and Sam Powell Pepper did it. Fucking, he grabbed a girl's bum.
Yep.
Fucking, that's 4 weeks.
Yep.
In the UFC, that's like nothing.
Yeah. I would love to see what, just out of curiosity, and probably because of like my previous kind of work life, I'd love to see what education pieces they have for their fighters on their roster. So I know when
like
you enter
social media training.
Everything to do with,
I don't think they'd have anything.
So AFL, for example, do this really well. Like, they have like stuff regarding like gambling, like mental health. They'll have stuff regarding like respectful relationships, like you name it. Like education pieces are there for players, so they're given all the information so they can make the most informed
AFL
decisions.
players. Obviously. I don't think the UFC do any of that. I know they got the PI, the UFC PI, which is like state of the art technology for their bodies.
Yeah.
But they don't even have post-fight healthcare. Like when you're retired.
Yeah.
I know they look after all your bills if you get the injury during the fight, or if you're training for camp, they'll pay for everything. But post the UFC career, they don't do much for you.
It's really interesting because I think maybe the difference between some codes, and I'm only speculating here, is that other athletes, particularly in team sport, are an employee of that club
organisation. They're basically like subcontracting.
So I think they're going, I'm going to contract myself to you for 5 fights. So,
but then see, and everyone always goes on about fighter pay.
Yeah.
But they sign the fucking line. Like I don't agree. I agree that they should be getting more. But everyone also looks at people like Conor McGregor, who bring in the biggest numbers in the UFC, or the Jon Joneses, or the Masvidals.
Yeah, the premium.
Nate, they're marketing. They've marketed themselves to get this money.
Yeah.
But then there's these fighters with amazing records that are only earning 100 and 100.
Yep.
But they don't deserve. Like, they don't bring eyes. They deserve more, but they don't bring the. And 100's a fucking good wicket.
Yeah.
To get punched in the head and potentially ruin your life, that's a different story.
Yeah, I'm not sure because...
But you've chosen that profession.
It depends on, like, I think America's a little bit different. So, like, depending on what state or territory, and the taxes are a little bit different as well, I think. But there's obviously, like, a large tax component.
Then you have to pay... Apparently California is like 50 fucking...
I think it's pretty fucked.
But then you got to pay a state tax as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's different taxes there.
Yeah.
There's taxes on fucking cars. Like, if you drive I think if you drive like a high carbon emission car,
really,
you get taxed in America.
That's super interesting, actually. Climate. Okay.
Yeah, I think, and fucking, but I also don't agree with the win bonus. I think you should just get your whole
flat rate, just whatever happens.
Because then if it goes to the judges and the judges fuck you, they could be fucking you out of $250,000.
Yeah, that is the crazy shit that I still sit back and go and look at, and I think I can't even remember a recent example, but going back and going, how the fuck did that judge score the fight
honestly,
in that way?
I'm going to say this, and people won't agree with me. I don't think that's the hard. If you follow MMA, that is not a hard job to see who won a fight, depending where you're sitting. But then they should have a fucking monitor anyway. They shouldn't even be looking at the fight. They should be looking at a monitor.
Surely they have a monitor.
They would have to, because you can see it better in the monitor.
No, they would have a monitor.
If they don't, even though you can tell, you don't listen to the crowd, or like you just watch the fight.
Yeah, they probably need some form of like noise cancelling headphones.
There is fights
no commentator bias.
There's fights that are really fucking hard to judge.
Yeah,
like that's fair. But when it's a clear fucking win, like I'll go back to this again because I fucking hate him. Paddy Pimblett's last fight.
Yeah.
How anyone scored it for him is beyond me.
Yeah, I actually didn't see it, but I heard it was trash.
The bloke had like fucking... he didn't do any damage, but he had like fucking 4 minutes of control time in one round.
Yeah, okay.
Another round he had like 3. He almost fucking knocked him out. Like, he couldn't have done any more. He could have thrown more in the last, but it wasn't a close fight in my opinion either, so he probably didn't think it was either.
Yeah.
So he was just cruising to a victory.
Yeah. Which
probably in hindsight was stupid. He probably should have put the pressure on a bit more.
Yeah.
But I just don't see that as that hard a job if you follow the sport.
Yeah, I think and I might be wrong here.
They use boxing coaches and shit. Boxing judges.
So like the commission, as an example, whatever like jurisdiction they're in, are utilising, I guess, the same combat-related judges. Yeah, they are.
So a lot of boxing. It's an entire
different sport. So
but it's a bigger sport than boxing now, so maybe they should fucking learn that because there's more...
Yeah, there should be a specific criteria that someone needs to make, like any other form of like job specification where we require you to have X amount of experience or this degree or diploma, whatever it happens to be. That needs to be like the entry baseline for a judge and a referee, because in some cases...
See, I reckon a ref would be a fucking horrible job.
That'd be so hard.
Because it's like, do I let, like the Dominic Cruz thing, it's like, do I let him go out on his shield or is he going to fucking come back like and knock this cunt out? Like, where do you...
It's so hard, man. I would not ever want to do that job.
It's a thankless job.
But I look at it and I go, the best generally do it really well. So there's maybe like a handful of guys or girls, and the rest seem to sometimes not meet the mark. And I don't know if it's like an education we got in this sport or a particular area that they're in seem to like officiate things differently. But I look at it and go, fundamentally, I feel that fighter welfare should be the first port of call for them. So if someone's in a position, or obviously over a course of a round or 2 rounds or whatever it happens to be, they're just getting fucking starched.
Do you let them go if it's a title fight?
I don't know. I think there needs to be a solid framework underneath.
You'd have to, if it's obviously a title fight, you probably would give someone an extra 2 inches. Because this could be their last opportunity. Imagine the fucking Leon fight.
Yeah.
Like, he probably got 10-8'd in fucking 2 of those rounds.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I definitely don't know what the right thing is.
Yeah, imagine stopping that fight.
But in saying that though, like he was still functioning. He was still okay. Like
if Leon lost that fight though, he was never getting a title shot ever again.
Yeah, because he got starched for 4 rounds.
He was getting belted.
Yeah,
like 100%. Belted, but then he didn't.
Yeah, it's insane, man. What a crazy
I'm all
sport.
for fucking round by round scoring as well when they like showing the score.
Yeah, sure, okay.
So a fighter, the only issue is then if a fighter knows he's up 2 rounds, he's obviously going to coast.
I think they already do that though.
Then the other one, the other fighter will fucking make it a fight.
But they already know that. I don't even think they even need to be showing the fighter, like the judge's scorecard.
A lot of corners are delusional though.
Yeah.
And but that's because maybe their fighter doesn't react as well to
something.
So they probably know their fighter better.
Yeah. Some of the best are so clear and concise.
That's the best kind of.
You're down 2 rounds to none. This is your last round. We need something from you. And they're like so clear. They go, we've noticed that he keeps doing blah, blah, blah. We need you to capitalize. Go out and do blah. And they're like straight to the point. The fighter knows exactly where he's standing, he or she's standing, and he gets, or sometimes gets the job done.
That was the best thing about Leon's corner. They was like calling him a dickhead. Yeah. They were like, you're being a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And they fucking got a fight. And it's even Peter Yarn's corner on the weekend. They knew he was fucking losing. Yeah. They're like, you need to go. Like, they were screaming at him. He just couldn't.
Do something.
He wasn't fighting horribly.
Yeah.
Marab just, if you watch that fight, you'll get tired just watching it.
I'll watch it.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
All right, I'll give it a watch.
He's a fucking menace.
What do you think about Pride system, where they will score the
fight as a whole?
Yeah.
I think I don't know. You get the same amount of dickheads though, I guess, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it'd be super interesting to see if like the latter component of a fight influences a judge compared to maybe what occurred for the majority of a fight.
That's the thing. If there's really one big moment, but I don't know. At the end of the day, damage trumps everything.
Yeah.
It'll be in the future. They'll be able to like on a UFC game, have like the percentage of actual damage that's happened. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Their technology is insane though at the moment.
Dude, like, when they first brought out those 4K cameras, I was so taken back. I was like, this looks so odd.
Yep.
Seeing it in like, because they only do it for select shots.
Some of the slow-mo stuff.
But, and like interviews and stuff, they'll put on the 4K camera and it's like, fuck, I can see the cunt's pores.
This is better than my eyes.
It's fucked. It's like when you put on that camera there, that's better than my eyeballs.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's insane.
It's pretty good. Watch this space as well. I'm actually probably in the market to get some fucking amazing cinema cameras soon.
Yeah.
And they're elite. They're, Hollywood movies, Netflix docos.
Do you need like
depending on the size, like
a fucking thing to wheel them? Can you just hold it?
Yeah, so you build almost like a rig
Like a two-hand
you can
one.
like you can do like shoulder rigs or so depending on the size and I guess the budget, some of them are quite big, others are a little bit smaller, but generally they're kind of like in this kind of weird
What
cube.
projects would you use that for? Something in the works.
Yeah, so I would love to do documentaries, whether or not that's in regards to like people like following a fighter's journey towards a fight, or there's a local guy, Rebirth Customs, I think it's called, the business. He makes surfboards, custom surfboards on the mid coast.
Just cool shit like that.
Just stuff that I feel connected to. But in order for, not to say that I'm any good, so they might be trash entirely and no one wants to watch it or view it, but a lot of platforms require certain things to be filmed on certain cameras to pass like the quality test. So some of these are like, Netflix approved cameras. So, but these wouldn't necessarily just be for me and my projects. They would be for others to be able to use in their day-to-day gig. So TV adverts, movies, other forms of Adelaide-based productions.
That's sick.
Yeah, I'll see what happens.
Yeah, there's a documentary coming out. I was actually talking. I got to fucking scroll through my messages because I forgot his name. I believe I seen it on Eric from MV2's post. That's how I contacted him. I might be getting that wrong, but he's making a documentary. I think he's South Australian based, but he's making a documentary on retro arcade game machines.
It's done. So it's Brad Gilberton, is his name?
Brad Gilberton.
Yeah.
Is it out?
Yeah.
Is it already out?
Yeah, I haven't actually watched it, so I'm sorry, Brad. So Brad,
what's it called?
It is called The Last Stand. Or
The
Stand. I'll get it because I do need to do this justice.
And it looks phenomenal.
No, he is insanely talented.
Brad Gilbert, is it?
Yeah, Brad Gilberton. So his Instagram handle is BGVC.
I didn't realise it would be out. Fuck, time's flown since I've talked to him.
A local southern guy as well. So I have no internet here, but it's like The Last Stand or get it up on the computer.
I'll get it up on here. What would I type in?
Type in, if you have Insta connected, or just,
I don't have Insta.
Just go BGVC Insta, and it might pop up. You might be able to go straight to his profile from there. He's incredibly talented, and he's done a lot of stuff in the game as well.
Handcrafted films.
Don't know, might be. Click on it.
Yeah, Adelaide, based in Adelaide. This is his website. I'll put it up on here so everyone
there it is, still standing.
Still standing.
Click to the left. There it is. Click on it. So this has already been streamed on certain platforms. So he's already been signed to certain platforms to have this.
Yeah.
He's one. He might be showing it on this website now, but
my display capture's not working. But it is called Still Standing, and it's 74 minutes. It came out on the 2nd of February.
Dude, you have no idea how much this guy's invested in this. So this was self-funded as well. So self-funded. It
looks amazing.
He flew all over Australia to meet with some of the pioneers of, I guess, the arcade space. There was some local in, say, SA, but he did a lot of travel.
Is this a trailer or is this the full movie?
I don't know. Check how long it is there. Trailer.
So where do we watch the full movie?
I need to check, but have you heard of Tubby?
No.
It's like a streaming platform.
Oh, so
yes. He's on that, I know. There were other things, and I don't know if they're correct or not, but I did hear that he might be on some other platforms.
It would say here. He wouldn't have uploaded it to YouTube.
Definitely, if people want to know more, check him out, though. BGVC on Instagram.
BGVC, or you can go directly to his website, bgvc.com.au.
He's seriously talented. So
I wanted to get him on.
I heard about this guy, and I don't know where I saw some of his stuff, and I sent him a message through Instagram and just said, "What's up? Like, I'm actually fucking inspired by your work, man. You're doing amazing stuff."
The trailer looks... do you know what the trailer reminds me of? A really good fucking Netflix doco.
Yeah, well, that's how... He is a cinematographer. He's directed the whole thing. He has cinema camera. Everything is on point.
Yeah,
like, this guy is super talented. So
it looks real well done, professionally done.
He's a fucking filmmaker. He's won a whole bunch of international awards. I think he won something in New York recently. Across the world, he won something in Italy, I think. If you go on his Instagram thing, it will show you like the amount of awards he's already won for this. It's crazy. So I found out he's from Adelaide, so I sent him a message being like, "Oh, how you going, man? Would love to pick your brain. And he's like, oh yeah, I live down south. And I'm like, fuck, no way. Where?
That's sick.
Yeah, so legitimately at Moe's or Seaford or whatever. So we've caught up for a coffee a few times. I see him at my gym, pick his brain sometimes about gear, or he used to work in the commercial space as well for big agencies. So he might do car TV commercials. So I'm always picking his brain. He probably is sick of me, but
no, wow,
he's
yeah,
a good dude.
I've got to message him after this, but yeah, he's a my favorite type of documentary is, and it still is, was there's two. There's Free Solo. Have you seen that movie?
Is that the climbing
with Alex Honnold?
Oh, I don't think I have.
That honestly is probably my favorite doco of all time.
Okay,
that is fucking phenomenal.
Is that about the climbs?
So he's so there's this cliff face in Yosemite in America. It's called El Capitan or something.
Sure.
And it's like I'm gonna butcher it, but it's like a kilometer high on a rock face. He climbs things with no ropes.
Sure.
That's what free soloing is.
Yeah.
So he documented, he had the idea in his head, so he got a film crew, and he's like, you can see him thinking it over and thinking it, and he's like, all right, I'm going to do it. So the video is him training for it, and at the end eventually doing it. But it is fucking crazy, because those the filmmakers had to be up there with him.
Yeah.
But like they had to prop cameras everywhere. It's fucking insane. But the other one, I love how the Chef's Table's filmed on Netflix.
I haven't seen it.
You
have sent me a link to it before, so I think I've seen like one or two clips. But
the structuring of it is just filmed so good.
Yeah,
it's so good how they structure it.
So the production value that some of these, even like a lot of YouTube series as well, is elite. I look at it and go,
YouTube's fucking the best.
Oh, I am YouTube every
like
2 seconds.
Anatomy of a Fighter. Have you seen that bloke? Will Harris.
Yeah,
he's fucking amazing.
No, it's insane. I look at it and go, like, most people don't realise how much time and effort goes into producing something like
dude,
the planning, the scoping, the gear.
Those Yes Theory videos,
mate,
they would take them months.
Dude, I reached. Obviously, they're not going to reply to me because they'll be like, would get a trillion messages. But
they filmed in Australia recently.
Yeah, partly obsessed with them. So I follow their journey for years, and I think what they do is amazing, particularly in regards to like community and culture and getting outside of your comfort zone and all the things like like they're exploring, adventure, travel. All of this shit I love. So I reached out to him and went, dude, that would be a dream job, would be to travel with you guys and film you with these amazing experiences, learning about amazing cultures, showcasing parts of the world that are less traveled. Obviously, I've never heard from them, but that would be so fucking fun. That would be elite to be able to do stuff like that. They do have a massive editing team, and one of their editors is based in Melbourne. So they've done like a couple of editor-based videos where the editors get to go to parts of the world. Yeah. So that last Australian video was all of their editors in Australia doing certain things. So Yes Theory is insane.
Yeah, they're probably up there with some of the best. And that Mr. Beast videos, his is just such a grand scale. Like that Squid Game video he did was fucking phenomenal.
Dude, my daughter's 8 and she watches legitimate bullshit on YouTube. So we have to obviously like censor some of it because you're like, I don't think this is the best influence for you.
It's fucked because those kids, they put things in the kids' algorithm that's really fucked up. But they picture it as cartoons.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's insane.
Even just a lot of the people that she watches might be like gymnastics related or something similar, but they're not just gymnasts. Like they're like almost like reality TV stars, and like them and their friends and their family are all part of it. So they're all rich and they're all like white privilege, and they're like filming themselves doing stupid shit. Oh, if I do this, I get to win $1,000, and I'm like, mate, that's not real life. Like people don't just have $1,000 to, or like it's bigger and broader than that as well. And
that's
they're just doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
But I'm watching some of it with her, going, fuck. Obviously, this is a full-time gig for a lot of like. There's the economy in some of these channels is huge.
Yeah, like it's massive. Those kids channels are the biggest. The biggest.
It's the best market to get into.
The biggest income.
100%, because kids re-watch shit.
Yeah.
So, for instance, me as an adult, I'll watch something probably once and go, "That was great."
If you like the video, maybe you'll watch it again 3 months later.
But like pretty much one and done. A kid like my daughter will be like, this is a cool video, and they'll cycle through that for weeks, months, maybe years, and you look at their like watch count or the view count, and it is huge.
Yeah.
Like, let alone all of the other like partnerships or sponsors that they get, like their ad revenue would be crazy.
Yeah, it's insane, and because they're kid friendly, they get fully monetized.
Yeah, well, a YouTube series might be where it's at.
We got it. We got it. We're gonna do something. We're gonna do something cool.
Put these heads together.
Put these heads together.
Not hard though, like
no, just gently.
Yeah, just really gently, really
with
softly.
With your talent.
Yeah.
And editing skills and my ability to not do much. We'll do well.
No, I reckon there's something. Watch this space.
I've always wanted to not so much a TV personality, but I've always wanted to do YouTube full time. Always, because I've always been a YouTuber.
Yeah.
I fucking love YouTube.
I love YouTube as well.
That's my one social media I will sit on.
Oh, dude.
And I can waste 6 hours
Same.
on. Without it, when you leave today, I've got nothing on.
Yeah.
I will be in bed just fucking.
Mate, I need to go and edit and do some planning over a couple of meetings as well. But no doubt I'm going to waste a fuckload of time when I leave here watching random YouTube shit.
Yeah.
I just can't help myself.
Well,
it's an addiction. This
was fucking really fun.
Thank you, sir.
Do you have plug all of your Instagrams where people can find you and book you?
Sure. For all of those lovers out there, if you're looking for a wedding photographer or videographer or both, because I do have an amazing team of creatives that work with me, so I can provide both of those services. It's Captured Co. So that is CAPTUR3D_co. Or I think you might be able to find me. My name is like Adelaide Wedding Photographer or something like that. But yeah, I fucking love the wedding space. I'm super passionate about it. Would love to connect. And for any business owners out there, if you're looking for some awesome content to promote what you do and I guess showcase to the world who you are and why people should visit you or buy from you, that business is Right Media. So I think it's honestly just _Right Media or something similar. But yeah, reach out. I'm easy to find, easy to connect to. So one-man show.
You're very helpful and you're very fucking like passionate a bit. Like you want the ins and like someone might message you for like just something simple and you'll fucking dive into it. You'll be like, all right, let's fucking do this. You're really like, you're good like that.
I love it, man. I love to break things down into, I guess, my past lives in the roles I've done has always been in the community space. So it's always about like support, empathy and care. Now I get to partner part of that with like the technical components of my work and I guess the creative components of my work. And for me, I just want to be able to provide an experience to people that they fucking love, but they also get like a product that they're super proud of as well.
Well, that was fun, man. It was awesome talking to you.
Love it. Thank you, brother.
You.
Boom.